Alright, here we go. This is what I was promising. I'm going to try and de-yellow my Famicom. All I'm using is I have 5 bottles of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Got it at the dollar store. Also at the dollar store, this totally awesome oxygen base cleaner. I just need a tiny bit of that. And then of course clear glasses so that way I can put it on top of there so it doesn't float to the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it here for a second so I can add all the materials, and I'll continue on once I have it added. Okay, for time reference, this is now 10:01. Here is exactly 30 minutes later. Okay, it's 11 o'clock, 1 hour since it's been here. Thinking maybe a little improvement. Okay, we're at the hour and 45-minute mark, and I think I can honestly say that it is lighter now. It's now 12:30, so this has been out here for 2.5 hours. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. This has been out here for 4 hours. It's now 3 o'clock, so that makes it 5 hours that it's been out here. It really looks like it hasn't changed in the last hour and a half or so. So I'm thinking that this is probably about as good as it's going to get this round today. Okay, it's 3:10. I just topped it off with another half a bottle of hydrogen peroxide just to make sure that the formula still got something left in it, still got some good kick to it. Okay, it's 4 o'clock and here's the results. I think I'm going to pack it up for today. I don't think I'm going to do any more to this. I'm satisfied with this. Okay, I just brought this in from the hydrogen peroxide, and I just wanted to document something so you guys all see what I did if you want to try this. On the back side of the family computer sticker, there is a hole right here where the spring attaches to. The hole goes straight to where the adhesive is on that sticker. What I did to prevent any weird stuff from happening is I took a hot glue gun. You could probably use silicone maybe, but I took a hot glue gun and squirted some hot glue in there to prevent the hydrogen peroxide from somehow messing up the adhesive on it and making any weird bubbles or anything like that. Okay, here's the follow-up to the whole process. In the end, I'm happy with everything. It turned out pretty good. It's not gleaming white like it could be, but I am not going to push it any further. The reason being that I stopped was A, I was pretty happy with it, but B, the family computer label on the front here, it's a gold label with red print on it. The red print on it just started to fade ever so slightly, and rather than have to deal with having another label printed out for that, I decided to just stop. I know I had the file all ready to go, and the guy at the label store said everything would be cool, but once he found out that it was supposed to be gold underneath there and not clear like the other ones, he told me that he could not print the red on the gold type of vinyl he has. So I guess I'm not going to be doing that, and that's one of the main reasons why I stopped. He did refer me to a place that I could do it, but they have a minimum dollar amount there of $50 no matter what you do. So I would have to either have all these labels arranged to print out enough to accumulate the amount that would be $50, in which case it would end up being like 2 feet by 1.5 feet or something. So I mean, I'd end up with way tons of labels, and I'm just not looking to go in the business of making and selling labels for this, because I don't think a lot of people really even want them. I don't think there's a big demand. but it would have been nicer to have it wider, but I'm happy with it the way it is in the end here. And I mean, as far as the Super Famicom goes, who knows, in the future maybe I might give it another dunk. I'm not sure. I have a couple bottles left of hydrogen peroxide. I may just give it a day, give it a run through on that just to get rid of the bottles. But yeah, I mean, I'm real satisfied. If I don't do anything to either one of these, and they just stay the way they are the rest of the time I have them, I'll be totally happy with them, because actually both of these are going up on display. I'll be organizing a room in my house just for my games and my computer, kind of like a little sort of man cave, if you will, with just my video games, computers, and my Transformer collection. Anyways, they're just going to be up on shelves. I may have everything hooked up. That depends on how I want to make a wall type unit, shelving system, whatever for this. But at the moment, I'm just going to set up shelves, and whenever I want to play one of these systems, I'll just pull it down from the shelf, and I'll have it down in a section where all the wires are already hooked up, so I just hook up whatever I want. But in the end, I'm happy. Hopefully this gives some other people some motivation to try this on their own too, and hopefully they have really good results. Hopefully better than mine even. But basically the Famicom, this one was done with completely only 3% hydrogen peroxide and barely half a teaspoon of the awesome oxygenated detergent, whatever. Awesome is the name brand of it, whatever, at the dollar store. It's just cheap stuff, but it does have the oxygen component to it, so I used that. But that was totally 3%. This one, which was actually way worse than this one was anyways, I used a combination of 3%, and I had a little bit left of the 35% hydrogen peroxide. So by the time it's all diluted down into the 3%, I'm guessing it was probably somewhere around 8, possibly 10%. It was enough to hurt my hands whenever I got my fingers soaked on it without really washing it off right away. It hurts underneath your fingernails. So in either case, you want to be careful. Try not to touch it as much as possible. And I mean, wear gloves if you got them available. Maybe even wear eye protection. The stuff can burn ever so slowly, but it still can burn, and it's really uncomfortable. But yeah, you can get really nice results. I've seen cases where, in particular on Super Famicoms, when people use the Retro Bright gel and set that up, if it's not on there evenly, you're going to get a splotchy result in the end. So, I mean, on systems, anything that you can fit in a tray, I highly, highly recommend just dunking the whole thing in liquid hydrogen peroxide, because you don't want to risk totally just screwing up one of these systems and making it look blotchy. And I mean, if it does, then maybe you can save it with some, another treatment. But in the end, you might have to actually paint them. But yeah, these are my results, and thanks for checking it out.